Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Allie Tharp, and my pronouns are she, her, and they, them. And I join you from Austin, Texas, the ancestral homelands of the Lipan Apache, Humanos, Tonkawa, Comanche, and Kowaltakan peoples. I will be your MC for this opening celebration event. And on behalf of the UU Ministry for Earth and the UUA Green Sanctuary Program, I want to welcome you. And I want to thank you for being here for our Spring Equinox worship and opening celebration for the 2021 Spring for Change, a season of sacred activism. So here we are, the Spring for Change season of sacred activism. This is an annual program of the UU Ministry for Earth that provides an overarching theme for Earth justice and climate ministries in late March through late May, anchored by the Spring Equinox today, World Water Day, March 22nd, Earth Day, April 22nd, and World Biodiversity Day. Our Spring for Change theme this year is Pathways to Healing and Regeneration. These are the guiding questions for this theme over the next 2 months. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, settle comfortably into your seat and body, and take a few moments and a few deep breaths as we reflect together on these questions. When you imagine pathways to personal, social, and ecological healing and regeneration, what comes to mind? Who is with you? What do you witness transforming and giving way to new beginnings? Who and or what do you find yourself accountable to along the way? Thank you for joining me in this collective inquiry and journey today and over the next 2 months. Our Spring Equinox worship and opening celebration today will weave through 3 pathways to healing and regeneration: song, spiritual practices, and liberatory theology, and solidarity action. I will also be providing some highlights for Spring for Change offerings that are available to you over the next 2 months. We have a full day ahead of us and a packed lineup of truly stellar speakers for our opening ceremony. So without further ado, let's begin. If you would like to follow along with the order of service for our program today, you can access it at the link that is about to be pasted in the chat box. We will now begin with a land acknowledgement and ancestral invocation led by Aspen Basildua, followed by a poem, Prayer to Ostera, written and spoken by Maya Wade Harper. Everyone is invited to light a chalice or candle at the end of Maya's poem, or to make the shape of a chalice with your hands, like this, as part of the Unitarian Universalist ritual and tradition to begin our worship together. Thank you. Go ahead, Aspen.
Creator, we call upon you and the ancestors of our land to guide our gathering, reminding us we stand on occupied land, remembering the struggles of Native people, which still continues, reminding ourselves we are Native too, not of this land, but the land of our ancestors. Help us to reconnect to our Native spirit, allowing us to heal ourselves and the earth for all my relations.
Hello, I'm Maya Wade Harper, calling from Lexington, Kentucky, Adena, Shawnee, and Cherokee land. For our chalice lighting, I will read my poem titled Prayer for Ostara. Mother Earth lifts the brown curls off my shoulder with a touch of wind. She knows this hair. She knows my ancestors are ancestors. I will do better, I whisper into the warmth that surrounds me, drying the tears. And I pray because we are the earth, the air, water, fire. We are mistakes and joys, tokens of mother's love. Trees and dandelions, the taste of spring on our lips. We are all of this and more, the holy beacons of nature's protection. We light our chalices, sing till our eyes can see, our ears hear the call to heal this shaking earth. We gather today with this prayer as our guide. May we find the strength as spring moves into our shores to heal. We are wood that breaks and wood that bends, sapphire sunsets and lightning storms, creativity and forgotten paths into places we needed to find. We are all of this and more, true stewards to the earth below. We light our chalices, sing till our hearts can see, our bodies hear the call to heal this shaking earth. We gather today with this prayer as our guide. May we find the strength as the world breaks and pulls to heal. We are the ebbs and flows of seasons, the fox and owl. May we remember respect, the wash of rain, the mountains reaching to the heavens. We are all of this and more, the holy beacons of nature's protection. We light our chalices, sing till our minds can see, our communities hear the call to heal this shaking earth. We gather today with this prayer as our guide. May we find the strength as spring moves into our shores to heal.
Thank you both so very much for those words. Now we will move into our first pathway for healing and regeneration, singing, with a performance by Karishma Gottfried of More Waters Rising by Sarah Lynch, followed by an invitation to join the Spring for Change virtual choir by our choir director, John Olin.
Thank you so much. So I invite you all to sing along with me. I believe we'll have the lyrics displayed as well. This song I first heard at the Sanctuary Boston at my spiritual community. We had a retreat, and I love this song because it doesn't have any accompaniment. I love playing the guitar, but this one is just voices. So I invite you to sing along with me. The tune is pretty repetitive, so you will hopefully get the hang of it, or hum along, or just listen. So here we go. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. There are more mountains falling, they will find their way to me. There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. I will wade through the waters, this I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, this I know. I will wade through the waters when they find their way to me. I will wade through the waters, this I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, this I know. I will walk through the fires, this I know, this I know. I will walk through the fires, this I know. I will walk through the fires when they find their way to me. I will walk through the fires, this I know, this I know. I will walk through the fires, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains when they find their way to me. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know, this I know. I will rebuild the mountains, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That was wonderful. Hi, everybody. My name is John Olin, and I'm the choir director at the First Unitarian Church in Baltimore, Maryland. And I will also be the music coordinator for this special project. We are going to have a lot of music happening for the service, and 2 pieces of music will be virtual choir. And in my congregation, we've been doing the virtual choir thing for the last 10 months. And in addition to directing the choir, I'm also doing the audio video tech and creating the mix for the presentation videos. So it's really exciting to bring some expertise to this service and this project. Participation in this virtual choir is open to anyone, regardless of their experience. Anyone with a voice may participate. And you do not need to know how to read music. The way I've set this up, it's inviting for both veteran and novice virtual choir singers. It's fun and it's very meaningful. It's a perfect blend of using the technology that we have to create a beautiful singing tapestry that directly connects to the mission of UUMFE and the worship theme. So at this time, I'm going to share what the document looks like to participate in the virtual choir. And you should be seeing that now. And so on this document, we have everything laid out, and we'll have links to this later in the chat, and it's also on the website. And we will be singing 2 songs. The first song is called Hallelujah for the Earth, which was originally written by Leonard Cohen, and we have new words by Dana Clark. And the second song is from our Teal hymnal, Singing the Journey, number 1020, entitled Whoa Ya Ya. And for each song, we have several things. So we have sheet music links, rehearsal notes, melody and harmony, conducting sing-alongs, and then, of course, the Dropbox upload link. And at this time, I'd like to share a short clip with you of what it looks like to sing along with me and participate, and what you might expect if you decide, hopefully, to participate in the virtual choir. So here we go. You can follow along with me, sing with me. I hope you have a great time doing this beautiful song. All right, here we go with the intro and the verses.
This precious web of life on earth, inheritance of all at birth, has every blessing freely given to ya. It is a fragile, holy ground, a treasure to be handed down. Our overflowing hearts sing Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia.
All right, so short clip there of how it looks when you're doing the virtual choir the way I like to do it. So let's see. The deadline for submitting your virtual choir recording is Tuesday, March 30th at midnight. That's 10 days from now. And this will allow us about 2 weekends for singers to complete the singing and send their videos up to me so we can get the whole thing finalized by the, I think it's April 8th launch of the project. So in the chat now, we'll see 2 links, Spring for Change Worship's resources. That's the website. On that first link, you can click on Join the Virtual Choir, or we have a direct link to the virtual choir materials that I showed earlier. I'm so excited to be doing this with everybody, and I wish that many people will participate in singing these 2 songs. The link for the Join the Virtual Choir is a PDF document which can be downloaded to your computer directly, and it can be shared with family and friends who might want to participate. And the link to the document also contains my email address. If anybody has questions, they can email me privately. All right, well, that concludes my segment of the presentation, and I look forward to partnering with you for the virtual choir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. I can't wait. I saw in the chat some requests for more information about where these choir pieces will be going, which is exactly what I'm about to tell you. So, UU Ministry for Earth, adapting to COVID as everyone else is hosting a virtual worship service this year for Earth Day. This service is available for congregations to stream in full or as component parts to plug in with your own Earth Day worship services. And you can see all of the information for that. We just published the full order of service on our website. I want to share a few highlights. Our featured sermon is on the theme Pathways to Healing and Regeneration by Reverend Yadeni Halu, who is an Ethiopian American Black woman based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yadeni is a writer, speaker, facilitator, and project manager. Her community ministry, Black Earth, is a love letter to the earth and Black people, inviting all carbon life to return to rest and right relationship as its baseline. She believes life's first mandate is to flourish and its second is to heal. And here's just a teaser of all the beautiful presenters who will be part of our service for the Earth Day program. And we can see here Leah Morris, the musician, Petra Tomes, Emma's Revolution, Reverend Elizabeth Mount, Reverend Florence Kaplow, John Olin, who you just met, Paula Cole-Jones, and Rashid Shaikh. So these are just a few of the faces that will be leading our worship service program and resource for congregations to use. And if you open up that link in the chat right here, Spring for Change Worship Resources, this is where you'll be able to find the full details. And I'll also just briefly say, this program is being offered, and we hope that congregations can make a contribution to UU Ministry for Earth the same way that you would for a guest speaker or a guest musician to come to your congregation. And we also would greatly appreciate any guest offerings, special collections for UU Ministry for Earth, which go to support the whole UU climate justice movement. So that is found on the webpage. And that's your highlight for inviting you into our Earth Day Sunday morning worship program. We'll also stream it online for anyone who doesn't have a congregation and wants to see it. We'll be streaming it, and we will send more details about that primarily through our mailing list. Okay, so now at this time, we will move into our next pathway to healing and regeneration, which will focus on spiritual practice and liberatory theology. So to move us into that space, we will hear once again from Karishma Gottfried, who will be sharing a homily.
Thank you so much. Hello again, everyone. So the very beginning of the Hebrew and Christian scriptures, in the first chapter of the book of Genesis, tells a story of how animals and plants and all the living beings came to be on this earth. And in this story, God creates the animals and the plants and then creates humans. And God says, let them, the humans, have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. And that word dominion is one that stood out to me. To have dominion over something means to be in charge of it, or to have control over it. To have control over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, from the animals we eat, make clothes and tools from, and do experiments on, To the forests we cut down, the oceans and rivers we pollute, and the air we fill with smog. Every living thing on earth was created to serve us. And this passage of the Bible has been used, whether consciously or not, to justify the cruelty we have visited upon the other living things on this earth for generations. It's been used to justify the enslavement of people thought of as less than human. It's been used to justify the claiming of land that was lived on by native people whose own spirituality and culture regarded the land and animals as sacred beings that coexisted alongside humans. It's been used to justify the inhumane, the not human practices that animals in factories undergo to this very day. But there is another way to think about dominion. Most people think of those two definitions I gave as the same. To be in charge of something means to have control over it. However, in the past century, there have been theologians and philosophers who advocate for a different understanding of the dominion of humankind. To be in charge of something is to be responsible for something. It is our sacred duty to care for and protect the living things on this earth. We must be stewards of the environment. And I think this argument is a powerful one, taking the justification for our power over the earth's beings and turning it into the very reason we need to take care of them. And at the same time, it's clear to me that living things are more than just something we have a duty to take care of. Plants and animals are smart, resilient beings in their own right. All of us are a part of a culture here that emphasizes human dominion, human dominance, and we must make an active choice to reject that idea. As Unitarian Universalists, we know that there is so much we do not know about the universe. And I believe a large part of that is all we do not know about the living things we interact with every day. But I invite us back to our seventh principle: respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. To truly live into our values, to have respect for the system of life on this planet that we know so little about, we must remind ourselves to cherish and love all of the living things in our lives. Blessed be.
Thank you so much for that reflection. So I will briefly, because the message that Karishma just shared with us was so much speaking to care for other species and the web of life, I want to now invite you all to carry forward this message and this theme on Biodiversity Sunday, which is May 23rd, 2021, the day after World Biodiversity Day on May 22nd and International Endangered Species Day on May 21st. So UU Ministry for Earth is providing some resources for arts engagement with the research and understanding of endangered species where you live. And what you see on the website that's being posted in the chat is just a brief sample of what will be offered. I'll give you this teaser that there will be many more offerings to come in partnership with Side with Love at the UUA and with the UUSC. So stay tuned for more exciting resources and updates about Biodiversity Sunday and our Endangered Species Art Project, which will be woven into some focus on the rights of nature at our UUA General Assembly in June. Now we will hear a meditation, be guided in meditation and movement by Sahar Musin Laufman. And then our Spring Equinox ritual, which will be led by Aspen Basaldua, Doris Marlin, Sahar, and Maya. Thank you.
So happy to be here with you. So we're going to start by doing a little bit of chi massage. So it's really simple, and as willing and or able, I hope you'll join me. So we'll just start by taking the center of the palm and rubbing it. This spot actually corresponds to the heart. So we'll just do it on both sides for a moment. And then when you feel like that's sufficient, you're just going to rub your palms together. These are ways to activate our hands because we use our hands a lot in Qi work, and we'll do a spot of Qigong in our movement practice today. So also let's go ahead and pinch the edges of our fingers. Just one more step to activate our palms. And now that our hands are a bit activated, let's rub our kidneys. Let's just give our kidneys a little bit of love and heat. And then let's rub our faces. I always joke that it's nice to have a chi facial. All right, so let's do a few of the points around the face. If you take your thumbs to the outer edges of your eyes and you use your knuckles to rub around the eye socket, this area is actually corresponds to the liver. It's a nice little chi massage that helps to cleanse and regenerate the liver. And I want to do my very favorite. Actually, let's do just a smidge of EFT now that we're here. And we'll just tap the side of the eyes. And then we'll tap under the eyes. And we'll tap the eyebrows. Now I want to teach you a lung chi cleansing massage. So you take two fingers and you're going to corkscrew into this divot in your shoulder well. And then you're just going to rub down and then squeeze out of the thumb. So that's the bad energy. And then we're going to squeeze the thumb, rub up the arm, and take a couple cleansing breaths to bring some fresh lung chi back in. And let's do it to the other side. 2-finger corkscrew, rubbing the energy down and out, and then back up through the thumb, back up through the arm, and then front of the body over the shoulder. A couple cleansing breaths. And then now that we're working on breath, let's do a little Kriya. So I'm going to teach you this mudra. You're just going to take your thumbs and your pinky finger and you're going to put them together at your heart center. And I'm going to invite you to just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and having your gaze at the tip of your nose. So, and I invite you to think about joy. As if you're breathing joy into your heart. And now maintaining that focus on the heart, let's do some EFT tapping. Let's just tap around this area of the heart. And now I want to teach you a couple Qigong movements. So as willing and or able, I invite you to rise. You can also do this in your chair if you so choose. And we're going to do from 5 elements a heart-based Qigong movement. So as if you have a ball, right? Or kind of like a baby. You're going to take it and then send it out to one side. Breathing it back to the center and exhaling it out the other side. Just keeping in mind that there's no wrong way to do this. To move with your breath, to hold your intention. The movement is an afterthought. And I'm just going to invite you to do one more thing. We're just going to take our arms and we're going to just swing them. We're just going to swing from our hips and then our arms come up. If you do the whole movement, it goes So the arms actually hit the heart center and the kidneys as you swing. In Qigong, we believe in this yin and yang of activating both the heart and the kidney. One more thing, let's do a little bit of golden ball. So we'll take this ball, right? Inhale it open, exhale, close, inhale it in, exhale it out, inhale it down, and exhale to dissipate it. We'll just do one or two more. You have your ball, inhale, expand, exhale, contract, inhale, in, exhale, out, inhale, down, exhale, shake it out. All right. You'll see me again after we do a bit of ritual with Aspen.
Thank you. That was wonderful, Sahar. So today is the spring equinox. So let's begin with the circle casting. I invite every one of you, if you are willing and able, to stretch your arms out as we call the elements. So we will start with the first element, east, element of air, attributes, communication, breath, and imagination. Hail and welcome.
And then we'll move on to the south with attributes,
Yes.
passion and strength, warmth and light. Hail and welcome.
And we move to the north, earth attributes, grounding, shelter, healing, and empathy. We hail you and welcome.
And then we move to the west, water attributes, healing, renewal, peace.
The circle is now cast. So today is the spring equinox, a time when the world is balanced. We're shifting from last season of winter to this season of spring. And I invite all of you to light a candle, put something in your heart of an intention you have based on these questions. What have you learned from this last season? How will you grow this coming season? What are you what are you learning for the last season to find balance once this equinox? What are you looking forward to this season? All these questions bring us back to the center. In our daily lives, we are so preoccupied with the coming and the going. The seasons are just temporal. But as the earth knows it, and as we should know, the seasons are meaningful. Our ancestors of all nations across this world celebrated the time of the equinox as a time of rebalancing our lives, rebalancing our daily activities, and finding peace in our living. For each season, we are a new person. Last season, winter came. We celebrated holidays, we were with family. Now the new year has been upon us, and we are preparing to carry out the rest of this year. And the warmth is coming back. So we're going to start gardening. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to start doing things out in nature again. But most importantly, we're going to do some spring cleaning. And in that time, we're going to clean out the old, both physically and internally. We're going to throw out what no longer serves us. And I would invite you to put in the comments if you're willing and able, what are you going to let go this season that you had last season that no longer serves you? And what are you inviting in this season that will serve your highest good? Yes, or write on a piece of paper if you so choose. And you know, this is a time where we're letting go. I'm letting go of a lot of the insecurities I've felt over my life this season. You know, the holidays are a hard, especially hard time for myself, and I know many others, but the new year has come, the sun is out, and I'm open to the possibilities in my professional life, my spiritual life, for new. I mean, there are so many blessings coming my way, with this included and a panel I will be leading at GA. And I am just so pleased to bring in hope to this season. And I'm so pleased to be here with all of you facilitating this season transition. You know, it is such a special and beautiful time. And I would like us all just to reflect on this season and our memories of past springs and of present springs, of what we are looking forward to. Because that is truly what a season is, a time of remembrance, letting go, and renewal. The fire has returned through the light of the sun. And so let us be strong in our values today, and let us make every day a blessing for this new spring season. I would like to now, I think this would be a natural point to maybe close the circle and say goodbye to the elements. And we will start from the west.
Okay, the West, water attributes, healing, renewal, peace. Hail and welcome.
North, earth attributes, grounding, shelter, healing, and empathy. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be.
To the spirits of the South and the attributes of passion, strength, warmth, and light, thank you for being with us, and farewell.
To the element of east, air, giver of imagination, wisdom, and communication. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be. And now we part and we say, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.
So I've been asked to guide you in dance. So we'll just start with a bit of one-handed dance from interplay. So we'll go for a while and then we'll switch. I just invite you to keep in mind that we're sitting in these chairs quite a bit. So this is a wonderful opportunity to get a little bit of movement in. We'll start with the one-handed dance and then we'll rise and I'll guide you through some free flow movement.
To realize our destination. Oh, 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 oh. Now play it back with ready. Through the breath as smooth as inhalation. Oh, the exhale is releasing all the tension I've been feeling on the surface and beneath me. I'm connecting to my spirit, and I'm here now right before you. I am present in this moment, and my life's work is to honor the great beauty all around you.
And I would like to take one moment to share a poem with you. A vision. We will have a vision to survive and to stand like slow-growing trees on a ruined place, renewing, enriching it. We will make our seasons welcome here, asking not too much of earth or heaven. In a long time after we are dead, the lives our lives prepare will live here. Their house is strongly placed upon the valley's sides. Fields and gardens rich in the windows. The river will run clear as we will never know it, and over it birdsong like a canopy. On the level of the hills will be green meadows, stock bells, and new shade. On the steeps where greed and ignorance cut down the old forest, an old forest will stand, its rich leaf salt drifting on its roots. Veins of forgotten springs will have opened. Families will be singing in the fields. In their voices, they will hear a music risen out of the ground. They will take nothing from the ground, they will not return, whatever the grief at parting. Memory native to this valley will spread over it like a grove, and memory grow into legend, legend into song, song into sacrament. The abundance of this place, the songs of its people and its birds, will be health, wisdom, and indwelling light. This is no paradisal dream. Its hardship is its possibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sahar. Awesome. So now we will begin our next pathway, our pathway of healing and regeneration through action and solidarity. And we have 3 speakers who will guide us through this: Doris Marlin, Amelia Deal, and Allison Hess.
Hi, thank you so much, Allie. And I do have a slide for this section if you're able to find it. If not, no big deal. So on March 11th, just 9 days ago, the UU Ministry for Earth helped raise a collective 100 million faith voices for climate justice. Green Faith organized the Sacred People, Sacred Earth campaign, bringing together 120 faith organizations, including the UUA, for 420 events in 45 countries. So, highly visible event, COVID safe and location relevant, and sound the alarm. So, UU Ministry for Earth, with lots of collaboration, did just that. But we didn't, excuse me, stop at just a pretty picture, because the day lives on. All participants, including you here today, are asked to sign the 10 demands of Sacred People, Sacred Earth, and respect Indigenous rights, lifting up demand number 4, and sign on to the Interfaith Power and Light and UUMFE Stop Line 3, plus learn more and do more, which you'll be hearing about from Amelia in just a few minutes. Also, demand 3, provide our fair share for climate finance, because Americans have both a moral obligation and a strategic interest to protect our common home, transferring technology and funding to the countries who have done the least to cause the climate crisis. So UUSJ, in collaboration with the United Nations Office and the UU Service Committee, wrote the action alert we are asking you to send using just a few clicks, and send this to your representatives. So what's really remarkable about how this happened was how easily it came together. Why did it come together easily? Because of our relationships that the UUs have built, just like we're doing here today with each other. Relationships, learning, and being open to growth creates the leadership that's needed to address the climate crisis. So now just enjoy a short peek at how the Sacred People, Sacred Earth event looked and sounded in Washington, DC. But also afterwards, be sure to treat yourself to looking at the events from around the globe on the Facebook page, which you'll see in your chat, and the Flickr. Thank you. So in the meantime,
Here we go.
should I go on? Well,
No.
no, all right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doris. So your support is also needed to stop the Line 3 tar sands pipeline. Line 3's route would transport one of the dirtiest forms of oil from Alberta, Canada to the shores of Lake Superior, crossing vulnerable watersheds and treaty land without consent. Stop Line 3 is about honoring Indigenous treaty rights, protecting sacred waters, and all of our climate. As the ground thaws this spring, this also means it's easier for workers to dig into the earth and keep going ahead with construction. Any solidarity, whether from afar or in person, is very much needed to make sure this pipeline is not built. A quick action everyone can take right now is to sign and share this petition from Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, urging President Biden to stop this pipeline, just like he stopped Keystone XL. There's a petition for clergy leaders specifically and for all people of faith. If you can, please donate to Indigenous and frontline-led organizations and the Legal Defense Fund and spread the word. Water protectors are getting arrested almost every week, putting their bodies on the line, and any amount goes a long way to support this vital movement. Moose Jaw has also been coordinating amazing UU solidarity work on the ground with MNIPL and several Indigenous-led organizations. Be sure to check out their Facebook page for tours and teach-ins of frontline camps. Moose Jaw is also supporting water protectors who have been fighting both DAPL and Line 3. Please donate to their fundraising efforts, and all of this is going into the chat.
Thank you, Amelia. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about a new initiative. It's called UU Drawdown 2021, and it's a challenge that we're putting out to Unitarians, elders, climate action across the country, and our friends and neighbors and any other orgs that want to get involved. Next slide, please. So what is this? Well, it's bringing together Unitarians and our friends around a common interest, which is to be the solution for the climate crisis and apply a tool that many of us have learned about and really like, called Project Drawdown. So it brings us together, and we are designing this challenge with strategic objectives and educational opportunities that enfold and highlight some of the UU climate justice movement goals and objectives. So you are invited to, well, the campaign is personalized or UUized. It will show progress because the Eco Challenge automatically calculates the impact we are having to reduce carbon and learn more and network. And in real time, you will be kept up to date about how you are doing, how the team overall is doing. And we are one big UUDD 2021 team. Now the instructions and the guidance will be posted to the webpage shortly, sometime this week. And you will be able to see in the chat the the guidance in just a few days. And it's also designed so that you are not cramped into a specific action, but it also allows the UU spirit to flourish as you follow through with the campaign. Next slide, please. When you want to do an action that looks like this, which just occurred on March 11th as part of the Sacred People, Sacred Earth campaign, you can get credit, next slide please, in the Drawdown Eco Challenge as part of the UU 2021 team. So next slide please. So at the very end of the Eco Challenge, we will have a sense of just how many people were involved, how many people learned more about Drawdown, how many people took actions, and will be able to support things that are particularly of interest to us. For instance, down in that small part that's hard to read, food justice, by registering and joining the upcoming Food and Equity Sustainability Conference that the United Nations office is putting on, that you'll hear about from Allison, by following through with some of the actions that Amelia just described, and also taking actions in the SLIC campaign, or Strengthen Local Climate Commitment campaign, that I'll be talking about a little later in the afternoon. I think that's it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Amelia.
Hi, thank you so much, Doris. Can we get that last slide up? So as you've heard, many water protectors are still facing persecution for resistance against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Please join a letter writing campaign to support water protector Steve Martinez, who has been recently incarcerated after refusing to face a grand jury for a second time. You can write your own letter to Steve and all NODAPL political prisoners anytime or at an upcoming letter writing event on April 6th at 4 p.m. Pacific or 7 p.m. Eastern, co-hosted by several UU Justice organizations. And please donate to Steve's GoFundMe. And those will both be in the chat. Back to you, Doris.
Awesome, thank you, Amelia. And there is a slide. So in collaboration with UUs for Social Justice that advocates at the federal level for actions that reflect our UU principles through legislation, or UUSJ, Your Voice in the Nation's Capital, the campaign that we are working on and we'll be requesting your handwritten letters to your senators will be on the Justice for Black Farmers Act and the Climate Stewardship Act. Both are being led out of Senator Cory Booker's office. And in collaboration with them, we will be identifying the very, very clear pieces of those legislative aspects for you to raise up and share. So you can see the slide that gives you a little bit of information about it, a link briefings will be scheduled for you. And you can see in the chat, sign up for right here, right now, to write your letters so that we can keep you informed about the actions that are leading up to this. So our faith calls us to promote bold action in response to the worsening climate crisis and the glaring racial and social economic inequities revealed by the pandemic. There's a growing recognition that changes in our food systems can contribute to progress fighting climate change. These changes, if done right, can also rectify injustice in agricultural systems, social problems, including land loss, racism, unemployment, and hunger. We are urging senators to support legislation that will make progress on both climate change and social ills, such as the Justice for Black Farmers Act and the Climate Stewardship Act. And there are links to the full text of those acts that will be posted in the chat for you. Thank you. And now over to Allison Hess to hear about a special invitation, and anyone who will be joining the UU Drawdown 2021 initiative is also encouraged to attend so that you can immediately start getting credit towards our UU Drawdown Eco Challenge. Go ahead, Allison.
Hello, I'm so grateful to be here with you all for this Spring Equinox celebration to kick off the 2021 Spring for Change season. I join you on behalf of the UU office at the United Nations to invite you to attend the upcoming intergenerational spring seminar that our office is hosting in April in partnership with UU Ministry for Earth. This intergenerational spring seminar is going to be all virtual, addressing the theme All In for Climate Justice, Food, Equity, and Sustainability. We officially closed registration a couple days ago, but it's actually still going to be open through the weekend to give you all a chance to register. So please be sure to register before the end of the day tomorrow if you would like to attend. And I hope you will. Registration rates are flexible to give everyone the chance to participate regardless of your financial situation. The youth and adults on this year's planning committee have spent the last several months crafting beautiful worship services, workshops, and activities to get attendees connected to one another, rooted in the climate and food justice issues at stake, and equipped to take meaningful action throughout the year to come to advance climate justice through equitable and sustainable food systems. I'm especially excited about the keynote presentation from Soulfire Farm featuring Leah and Naima Penniman. Soulfire Farm is an Afro-Indigenous community-centered farm that's focused on sustainability and healing for people and the land. An element of every year's seminar that makes it truly unique and memorable are the intergenerational small group conversations, where participants have a chance to get to know one another and touch base periodically to learn and grow together. This year's seminar will also have dedicated youth and young adult gatherings, as well as space for BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color attendees to gather in community with one another. I really hope you'll join us online April 9 to 11 for the spring seminar. Please find more details and information at our website, uua.org/UN Spring Seminar, which will also go in the chat. And don't forget to register before the end of the day tomorrow, Sunday, March 21st. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we will have our special guest speakers today. Lou Aya Nephew and Sachi Hopkins Hayakawa, who I am so thrilled to be working with our Create Climate Justice initiative over the next 8 or 9 months with the Wildfire Project, one of the many groups that Lou and Sachi work with in their many ministries and movement work for climate justice. So I will let Sachi and Lou take the floor and introduce themselves in a little more depth, and then I'll come back for a little bit of closing and we'll go into our intermission. Thank you.
Peace, family. It's so good to be connected right here in this moment. Sending love and blessings to all of you. Yeah, just gratitude for receiving us in your circle today and just starting like that. So for everybody who's spoken and led us so far, on behalf of both myself and Sachi, just thank you for those gifts. We're receiving them, the abundance in this beautiful celebration of springtime. And yeah, I'm feeling very connected to you all despite the distance. And I'll pass it to Sachi. If Sachi, ready to get it flowing?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Sachi, calling into you from the Pacific Northwest. And we're so honored to be joining you, and we'll be accompanying you and UUMFE over the course of the spring and summer. And yeah, so Lou, did you want to start with a song, or should I jump in here?
Yeah, why don't you just jump right in?
All right. Yeah, so I don't know if Ali mentioned this, but I grew up in a Unitarian congregation in the Northwest, and when I was a child, my mom was a single mother without an extended family. And in that UU congregation, she found a bigger and more wonderful extended family than I think she could have imagined for us. So I'm really happy to be here and reconnecting with all of you, and to be bringing some of our experiences and gifts to share too. And yeah, joining you here today and reflecting on the themes of healing and regeneration. I also want to bring in the spirit of another member of my UU family, a close friend and mentor who transitioned last year, Landria Williams. One of the last times that I saw Landria in person was when they flew from Knoxville to Seattle for my partner's birthday so that they could take us to a Beyonce and Jay-Z concert. But the first time that I met Landria was when I was a very shy 15-year-old at a Unitarian Youth of Color gathering in New Orleans. And like literally hundreds of others, Landria made me feel seen. They noticed things in young people that went unnoticed, and with unbelievable persistence, they would make sure that you felt your own worth and strength and beauty. And then they would shine a big old spotlight on you so that everyone else saw it too. And they knew that nurturing youth and young people was a source of regeneration for all of us, a source of healing for all of us. And you walk that path every day, and I feel very clear that that's part of the reason that I'm here reconnecting with all of you. So Lou and I are part of the Wildfire Project, which is an organization that has supported social movement groups in the US and around the world. We do deep dive work with groups and facilitate them towards a clear understanding of how we all are living into our vision and embodying that vision in our work together. The most recent group that Lou and I worked together with was the Pacific Climate Warriors. And we might have a slide for them, I'm not sure. But the Pacific Climate Warriors is a coalition of climate justice activists from island nations throughout the Pacific. Their guiding words are, when you have the strength of the Pacific at your back, anything is possible. We are not drowning, we are fighting. In 2019, Lou and I traveled to Fiji for a week-long retreat with the Pacific Climate Warriors. And in our time together, we focused on their vision for the future and what it meant to live into that vision. Just like yours, every element of their climate justice activism is deeply rooted in spirit, faith, ritual, and culture. These are regenerative sources for healing our world that live within us and within our communities and within our land and within our oceans. My hope is that Lou and I can be humble pollinators who flew across the Pacific Ocean, carrying a little bit of that spirit, a little bit of that vision, a little bit of that ritual, and we can share some of that with all of you.
Yes. Feeling that. Thank you so much, Sachi. It's such a pleasure in this moment, in this spring equinox moment, this moment of ritual and celebration, that we're actually getting to join you today. And so I would love to honor that with a song, and we'll do a little bit of weaving this morning. The thing that when I get to sing in a Zoom room like this, especially a big one with a lot of people gathered, I invite us to feel the magic of collective singing. I know we've got to sing already today. This has had more movement and music than most rooms that I'll get to be in. And so shout out to y'all for creating this beautiful space. And so sometimes I got a little microphone over here. So sometimes before I sing, just want to make sure the sound is good. So if it's too, is it too loud at all, or is it sounding good? Y'all can give me a little, all right, I'm getting some thumbs. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Okay. So in honor of this springtime, we're gonna start off with this song that's a little bit of a mantra that gets us excited, that connects this particular moment to our dream of liberation. And so the song goes like this. You're gonna learn it really fast, but before we sing it, we're just gonna say the words. So wherever you are, you can stay on mute, but you're just going to speak it out loud into the space, because we believe songs are like spells. And so we're going to cast this spell into your living room or your kitchen, your block, your city, all across this land. We're going to say, liberation is coming. Say that out loud.
Liberation is coming.
But it can't come too soon. It's springtime. And this is resistance in bloom. Try that. So you might notice it's kind of celebratory. And then at the end, we just put a boom, because, sometimes it's like you just need a boom. So this is the song that we're going to kind of get into our bones as we celebrate springtime. And we're going to do a couple other songs after this, but this is the one that I want us to just transition, celebrating spring with this song. So I'm going to sing it through. Like I said, it's like a mantra. Try to feel it in your body, feel it in your bones. Maybe you're going to need to move your shoulders a little bit. Maybe you're going to play the drums on your heart. Maybe you're going to harmonize with my voice as you hear it coming through your computer. But now is the time for us to be in the celebration of both springtime and our dream of liberation. So we sing it like this. Liberation is coming, and it can't come too soon. It's springtime, and this is resistance in bloom. Boom. Liberation is coming, and it can't come too soon. It's springtime, and this is resistance in bloom. Try that. Liberation is coming and it can't come too soon. It's springtime and this is resistance. And try dancing with it. Liberation is coming and it can't come too soon. It's springtime and this is resistance in bloom for line 3. Liberation is coming. Come on. Can't come too soon. It's springtime and this is resistance in bloom. Let's get it. Liberation is coming and it can't come too soon. It's springtime and this is resistance. And one more time, liberation is coming and it can't come too soon. Springtime and this is resistance in bloom. Boom. Hey, thank y'all so much. You can snap, you can clap for yourselves, just for getting it on a little bit with some music this morning, some celebration. So for me, again, my name is Lou Aya of both the Wildfire Project with Sachi. Honored to work with Sachi, one of my favorite people and favorite trainers. So just we're, you know, and a team that gets, you know, a lot of the both the spirit, all the way from the spirit to the logistics, to the humor, to the joy, to all those things. And so to get to do that with you all is it's such a pleasure. Now, I'm also part of a crew called the Peace Poets, and our mission is to bring movement to the music. I almost got that right. Music to the movement, kind of both, though, you know what I mean? And so before I do one more song, I want to share that we also were able to be up in the territory of the Anishinaabe, where people are fighting the Line 3 pipeline. So I want to shout out all of our relatives up there who are doing that work, all of our friends who brought that information to us in this circle this morning. Yeah, that's all right. We can give them a little virtual snaps or claps so people can see it, so they feel appreciated. Thank you for that. And when we were up there, we were able to do some music together. One of them was specifically about Line 3. And I believe that our art is both our weapon and our medicine. So this morning, we're going to cast another spell. And it's going to be one that says the words, if you love the water, Gitchigamin, have the courage to stop Line 3. If you love the water, Mississippi, have the courage to stop Line 3. So this one, we're sneaking it off into the wind, into the hearts and minds of all of those different people in with political power, so that they may have the courage to stop Line 3, to listen to our folks on the front line defending the land and the water. So we're going to sing this one. And I'm just inviting you to sing it. Maybe that last one we celebrated. This one is really like a prayer. So put this song out there like a prayer. It goes like this. Oh, just in case, the word Gitchigamin is the Ojibwe word for Lake Superior. So it's one of the bodies of water we're protecting when we stop in this pipeline. If you love the water, Gitchigamin, then have the courage to stop Line 3. And if you love the water, Mississippi, then have the courage to stop Line 3. Try that like a prayer. If you love the water, Gitchigamin, then have the courage to stop Line 3. Let's do that. If you love the water, Mississippi, then have the courage to stop Line 3. One more time, sing. If you love the water, Gitchigamin, then have the courage to stop Line 3. Sing that prayer. If you love the water, Mississippi, then have the courage to stop Line 3. Yes, my people, thank you for putting that prayer into the air. So beautiful. Just really sending that again to the water protectors, to our relatives up there who are doing that work, to those who are organizing across the country to get folks to defund and divest and do that work. And this morning, finally, just got one more little offering, but I always want to respect people's time because I'm going to just check in with Ali exactly how many minutes, whether it's 1 minute or 3 minutes. You just go ahead and let me know whether it's 4 or 5. I got songs for days.
2.5, 2.
Perfect. I got you. That sounds good. Well, it would be then. This is what we're gonna do. This song. This is a short poem that to me is actually a poem that represents some of the work that you all are talking about. I feel like when we understand that our freedom is connected, that we first have to mourn and have to grieve all that we've lost, and then we find ourselves, we move beyond that into a whole nother way of being. And so this is for all of our relatives right here. It's a little poem for y'all this morning. Goes like this. I need you to cry, and I need you to mourn, and then I need you to think. Forget this, we were born to be free, like a rainstorm, free like the eyes of a lover in love, free like a drum beat picking you up, free like your lips when you lost in a kiss, free like kids when they dance with bliss, free like your dreams when you're deep in your sleep. If you feel that, then you know what I mean. Free like, go ahead, take these words, free like a trans fan feeling their worth, free like a long day getting out of work, that's right. We were born to be free, free like a grandma's hug, free. Like that air in your lungs, like a first grade class who could really care less if they fail or pass. Free like that and free like this. Free like your eyes closed, making this wish to be free like freedom, like no more chains. Free like freedom ain't playing no games. Free like we like speaking love fluent. When everybody like, nah, he ain't gonna do it. She ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Then you do it. I mean, free like that. Hell yeah. I mean, free like that. Free like all of us seeing no borders. Free like officials who resist these orders of hate. Because I can hear Dr. King saying freedom can't wait. Freedom can't wait. Wherever y'all at, say freedom can't wait. And say freedom can't wait. And ain't no real freedom ever gonna be attained by a policy that leave all people detained. And you can't claim freedom on one side of a wall. So if a government of hate tries to make our freedom seem small, we retake the streets and remind the world the only freedom we seek is freedom for us all. Translation, no ban, no wall. We want freedom for us all. Thank you for receiving that poem. And finally, we just gonna close with this promise. This is a piece that we call From Now On. And it's the last spell we're going to cast on this beautiful equinox morning. And my invitation to y'all today is to connect to those lands and those waters that are nourishing you, and to remember how lucky and blessed we are to be able to fight to protect them and to protect each other. And I feel just one more shout out to the Pacific climate warriors who Sachi and I were able to spend time with, because we bring their courage and their dedication, their urgency and their love to all of our work. So love to shout them out, and just love to presence them. And I want to do one more shout out for folks, if you on the West Coast, especially, to check out Run for Salmon, which is the work of protecting the waters where I live at these days, on the West Coast. That's Run for Salmon. And this is like this. So I think I'm getting to the end of my 2.5 minutes right here, working to offer you like just the right amount of words and the right amount of time. And this prayer is a promise. That's why it's the last one I want to do with y'all today. It simply says, goes like this. Remember, I'm not singing this one to y'all, but I'm singing it with you. So I invite you to join your voice with mine as we close with this. The words are, well, you're going to get it as we go. Here we go. We are hurting, but in this this pain, we're learning how to love our people from now on. We are growing, finally we are flowing, wild like a river from now on. Last time, let's sing that like a promise. We are hurting, but in this pain we're learning how to love our people from now on. We are growing. We are growing, finally we are flowing, wild like a river from now on. Thank you for singing with us, for praying with us, and for committing to this good work, not on our own ever, but always together. Much love and respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Sachi, so much for those beautiful words. Sachi, you made me cry pretty much. I was like, hold it together. Really appreciate you both and so look forward to all the work we're going to do together this year. So, friends, this concludes our opening celebration and Spring Equinox worship. I hope you were moved in more ways than one, and sending much love to each of you, those who must go on to another part of your day. Bless you and thank you for those who are staying with us for the congregational climate convergence to follow. Thank you as well.